Today we're at Randolph Farm at Virginia State University, and we're going to talk about container gardening. Now, many of you live in areas where you don't have a very big yard, but you've got a deck and a patio and you like to garden. So containers might be the thing for you, and even some of you that have big yards maybe don't want to do all that work, and so a container garden situation would be good for you. It's fun, it's easy, and it's a good way to grow some plants. One of the first things you have to think about, though, is what type of container you're going to use. Now, some plants have a large root ball and they need a larger pot or container, and others don't, and they can use a more shallow container. But you can use just about anything as a container. You can use even things like this hanging basket container to plant in, and it's not really deep, so something that would have a shallow root. Even 5-gallon buckets can be useful. They can carry a lot of material in there. But you need to make sure that there's holes drilled in the bottom of it so that the water, when you irrigate, will leach out of there. Large containers like this, shallow containers like this one, all kinds of things can be used as containers. It really is up to you and how creative you are. Now, one of the things you need to think about is, what am I going to put in that container? Well, I would advise you to use some type of soilless media, not soil from the garden, but some type of soilless media that you can buy from a garden center or a greenhouse supply company or something like that. And this media will be usually peat-based or bark-based. It'll have a little bit of bark in it, maybe a little bit of perlite, and that will help in drainage and not let it be so wet all the time. So think about that. You can buy this in bags and put it right into your container. Well, the first thing we're going to look at here, we've got kind of a bowl-shaped container here. It has a hole in the bottom so that water can leach out. It's kind of decorative, and we filled it full of media here, and we're kind of leveling that up. You'll notice I've left a little bit of room at the top so that when you water, it's not going to just splash out. If you were to mound this up, that water would kind of roll off the side, so it wouldn't be very easy to irrigate. So we're going to call this maybe a salad bowl, and we're going to put some things in here like lettuce and maybe some herbs, and have something that you can have throughout the season. You might even be able to plant some seeds in here, some lettuce seeds, for example, and so you almost have succession planting. So you would harvest lettuce, and then the lettuce that's starting to grow from seed will be ready a little bit later. So that shallow bowl did a good job for that lettuce and some of those herbs that are shallow rooted. But things like tomatoes, for example, require a much bigger container. And you can see this large one I've got here. It's probably 16 to 8 inches in diameter and about at least that much deep. And this is a really good size for tomato. You can get a little bit bigger ones maybe. But we're going to put one tomato in this. And sometimes as you're going through some stores and garden centers, you might find some plant material that's on special because maybe it's gotten a little tall and leggy. For example, like these tomato plants, a little bit different than this kind of nice one ready to go. But you know, that's okay. For some plants, I wouldn't recommend you buying those on sale, but I think for these tomatoes we can do all right because we can plant them a little deep in the pot. So what we're going to do, because this is so tall and leggy, we're going to take off a few of these leaves, and then we're going to bury it pretty deep. So we're going to make a nice depression in here, get it down in there, and bury it a little deep. Now these tomatoes will send out roots all along that stem that's buried, and it will fall over quite a bit. So things like cages are going to be useful for this, and we have this cage right here. You can find these, you can make cages, but you can also find these at garden centers. And look at this neat color here. So you just pop this down in there, make sure it gets a good hold. Now this tomato will grow up through here. You might have to train it a little bit. And there are going to be some side shoots or suckers like this one right here that are going to come out. In this situation, I would recommend on your patio to let a few of these suckers grow. That will kind of give you a bushy plant. But you might want to take a few of those off so it doesn't get too bushy. But this will do a nice job. What we would do right now is we'd water it in and make sure that it gets plenty of water in here. Everything's watered in correctly. With fertilizer for this, you can put water-soluble fertilizer on here, or you can also put some slow-release fertilizer, and it'll do a nice job for you and grow throughout the summer. Well, another type of container is this one here. This is a Vertigrow type container. You can see it's made out of polystyrene. You can get several of these. They're kind of small. You fill them with media just like we showed you before, but they're stackable. So it's a vertical system. This is almost made for strawberries, so a lot of you like to plant strawberries and put it out on your patio. Got some strawberries here, and I'll kind of show you how it works. You take the plant, you put it right in the corner of each of these 4 corners on this container here, and push them in there really well. You can see that kind of go in there pretty easy. We're going to put the last one in right now, and what happens? You use that. You've got the other one ready to go, filled with media, and you pick this up, and it sits at an angle here on the first one, and so it becomes a stackable system. And so then you would plant 4 more here, and you stack another one on top of that, and stack another one on top of that, and what you end up with is a tower of strawberries in this case. But there are other material you could plant in here, and kind of does a neat job. It's kind of interesting on your patio, and using every bit of the square foot of your area to grow something. Vertical gardening. Well, for more information about container gardening, visit the Virginia Cooperative Extension website or contact your local master gardener. For From the Ground Up, I'm Chris Mullins. We'll see you next time.